Hi, this is Katie with craftingwithkatie.com, and today I'm going to be making a card, a Valentine's card, using this cute little puppy from the Sweethearts cartridge. And I'm really excited to use this with one of my stamps from My Creative Time. If you haven't seen these yet, go to My Creative Time. Actually, it's creativetimeforme.com. Emma has created 4 really cute stamp sets, and this one, You Had Me at Chocolate, is her one that's great for Valentine's Day, and this is the one I'll be using today. And she also has I Believe in Leprechauns, so that's fun for St. Patrick's Day. For Easter, she has You Color Me Happy, and then the last one is fun for Mother's Day, and it's called Mom You Rock. And all of these have sentiments that you can use throughout the year in addition to the specific holidays. Okay, I'm going to be designing this card on my Gypsy because I want to make a bobblehead puppy on my card. I got this idea from Sarah at Live, Love, and Scrap. She made the cutest Christmas card with a bobblehead Santa, and I'll put a link for that on my blog. But I thought it would be fun to do that with a little puppy. When I make a card on my Gypsy, I like to open this file I made for an A2 size card. And it's just a rectangle that's 5 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then I can use that to see exactly the size I'm going to be working on. So here's my rectangle, and I'm going to go to layer 2. That's on layer 1. And then it's just there in the background for me. So I think I'm going to make my little puppy at about 3 inches. Alright, so I'm going to go to the Sweethearts cartridge. I'm already here. Oh, there's the puppy. And I always just first get it, before I get all the layers, I just take the puppy and see what that would look like. I think that'll be really cute. I think actually I'm going to make it 3.5. Perfect. Okay, so what I need to do now is look at the different layers. It looks like when you look here, there's just the one layer for the eyes and the nose and all. So, but since I'm making this as a little bobblehead, I'm going to need 2 of these. So I'm just going to go back here, make a second dog, so I have one for the head and one for the whole body. And then I'll go to layer 1, and I'll take the layer, and we'll see how that looks. Okay, now I can just move it around to look at it. And I'm going to hold down this key and click on the layers just to see what they look like, because I think I have to cut the layers in a couple different colors. Yeah, so if you look back at the handbook, it has pink for the big heart around the eye and for the tongue, black for the nose, and it has red for the collar. So I'm actually going to need this 3 times. So I'm going to go to Advanced, and I'm going to hit the little copy button and hit it 1 more time. And now I have my 3 different parts. And if I go back to Basic, I can hit this button to ungroup them. Go back so it's not zoomed out. So basically I'm going to be cutting these 2 in brown, and then I'll need to cut this. And if I go to, I'll zoom in again. If I go to the Advanced tab, I don't have to cut out everything. So when I just want the heart and the little tongue, I can go to the Advanced, and then I can hide the parts I don't want. So for this one, I'm not going to want this collar, so I'm going to hide that. And to go to the next one, you can hit these buttons on the side, or you can be hitting these. So I like to do it on the side. So I'm just hiding all of these parts of his collar. I'm going to hide his nose. So these are the only 2 that we want in pink. So that's 1. Now, where are my other ones? There they are. Okay, so I'm going to go to this one now, and this time I'm going to hide the tongue, the heart. I'm going to keep the collar. Oops. And I'm going to hide the nose. So this one will just cut out the collar. And then for the last one, we'll go ahead and we will hide everything except for the nose. Okay, so now I'll just put these where I want them on my mat and go ahead and cut them out. Alright, before I cut, I just wanted to show you a few tips for cutting with your gypsy. Down here you'll see I have the full puppy here, and then I'm only going to need the head for the bobblehead, so to not waste paper, I just slid the bottom half of his body off of the screen so it will not cut. Oops. And the other thing I wanted to show you was the great thing about the gypsy is you can cut your paper in a way that you're not going to have a lot of waste. So if you look at how I've laid my paper out here, I've got a lot of little pieces, but to avoid them sliding around the mat when I cut, because that can sometimes happen when you use little pieces, I just arrange them so they're all stacked up against each other, and that usually works pretty well. Also for this, I'm using some paper tray ink cardstock for the brown, which is very thick, and the way I usually like to cut that is on multi-cut 2 with the blade set at 5. And the rest is all coordinations paper, which I would just cut with the blade at 6 and not multi-cut. So what I do then is when I go to cut, I start by deleting one type of paper. So for example, for this one, I'm going to group my two little puppies together because they're going to be with the paper tray ink cardstock, and I'm going to delete them. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut all the cuts from the coordinations paper at the settings that I want, and when it finishes it asks if you want to return to the design or unload the mat. I'm just going to return to the design and I'll hit this key. The puppies will come back and I'll delete the other items, and then I can set this to the settings that I use for my paper tray ink cardstock. Okay, I'm going to start to put my card together. I made a base using paper tray ink craft cardstock, and it is cut at 8.5 inches by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I'm just inking around the edges with some of their fresh snow ink. I love that on the craft. Alright, and the next layer, I think I'll ink also. This is pure poppy, and this is cut at 4 inches by 5 1/4. And since I'm on a roll here, I'll ink up my third layer. This is a K & Company Valentine stack that I got last year. I didn't use very much of it, so I'm trying not to buy more this year. Alright, so we'll just go ahead and put those all together. I adhered these 3 together using my ATG gun. And what I thought I would do for my sentiment is I cut out this little strip of craft cardstock. It's 5 inches by 1 inch. And I thought I would put my sentiment on here, plus I have some little heart stamps that I would also have going across. And then here's the puppy. I still have to put them all together, but then he would go right there. Cute! Alright, so I'm going to start by putting a heart on one end. So this is pure poppy ink, paper tray ink again. And this stamp is also from them. It's called, it's from the Daily Design set. It has some cute images. So I'm going to put that right here. And next to that, I'm going to use my stamp from my Creative Time from the You Had Me at Chocolate set. And it says Love at First Sight. And I don't think I told you the purpose behind this card. This is for my little niece, and she and my sister and brother-in-law just got a puppy a couple of months ago, and it's a long-haired Chihuahua, and my little niece Mary is just in love with it, so I thought she would enjoy this card. Doesn't that stamp so nicely? I love my new stamps. And then I thought I would just keep going across with some more of these hearts. Do one more. Alright, and then I'll get some fresh snow ink again to just go around the edges. And then we'll get to putting the puppy together. So I adhered that down and I'm ready to work on the puppy. So this is how he cut out since I had him at the edge of the paper. So I am just going to use my scissors to cut off the bottom of his head. There he goes. And then I'm just going to use my Scotch Quick Dry to adhere the different parts to him. So we'll start with his, this little heart around his eye. And the other thing I was going to do is use, it's running out, I'm going to use some Google Eyes for his eyes. I'm attaching his head with an Action Wobble, and I did make a card around Christmas time using Google Eyes with the Action Wobble, and it is hysterical because as it spins, the little eyeballs spin around and around, and it's so cute. Okay, so the next little piece is teeny tiny, his tongue. I'll just put this on here. I have tweezers, but I never think to get them out. That works. And then we'll do his nose. And I don't know how it's going to work with the little collar, because it's not, he doesn't have a neck anymore. Might have to leave that out. Okay, so there's the nose. Okay, and then I'll just put the Google Eyes. One goes in the center of the heart, and one over here. And these I've had forever. I think I bought them my first year teaching for some project in my classroom. I have a little extra glue, but that'll dry. It's all right. Okay, and then I'll just go ahead and put on the collar, even though I don't know if you'll see it, but you might see it a little bit underneath. I'm not usually so messy with my glue, but it's really hard doing this with the camera in front of me. Okay, now the fun part. So, I received Action Wobbles, a sample, a couple of different samples of them actually, and I've been hoarding them because they weren't sold in stores yet, but the other day they just announced they're selling them on their website, and I ordered a pack of 100. So I figure if I get tired of them, my students will love them. So what I'm doing is I'm peeling off right now the top part that says stick to the top. So this is going to stick to his head. And then as you can see, this other part says base, and that'll stick to the base. But before I do that, I think I'm going to adhere him onto the card. So anyways, back to the Action Wobbles. So you can order them, and I will put the link on my website. I think it's just actionwobbles.com. And you can order a pack of 50 or a pack of 100 while supplies last. So I'm not sure what's going on then. If they're, I know they're kind of testing these out, but it seems like a lot of people are interested in them. So hopefully they'll make more even if they do run out. Okay, so we'll put him right here. And I'm actually going to take a moment to just do some little stitching around him. I think it's going to be hard to do once this is attached. I went ahead and did all my stitching and adhered my Action Wobble head to my puppy. And this is how it looks when you move it. Isn't that so cute? So thanks for watching, and be sure to stop by my blog, craftingwithkatie.com. I'm going to put the link on there for where you can get the My Creative Time stamps, and also where you can order the Action Wobbles and take a look at the inspiration for this card, which was Sarah's Christmas card at Live, Love, and Scraps. Bye!